James Watt, and today I will be telling you the story of my life journey. I was born on January 19, 1736 in Queena, Renfrewshire. I was the eldest among the 5 children, my parents, Agnes Muirhead and James Watt. My mother came from a distinguished family. She was well educated and was said to be a forceful character, while my father was a shipwright, ship owner and contractor. He served as the Greenock's chief in Bali 1751. My parents were Presbyterians and strong conservators. I was mostly educated at home by my mother, but then I went to grammar school where I learned Latin, Greek, and mathematics. I first learned and grew familiar with instruments in my father's workshop, where with my own tools, bench and fork, I made models. At the age of 17, I decided to be a mathematical instrument maker. I first went to Glasgow, where one of my mother's relatives taught at the university, and then I went to London in 1755, where I found a master to train me. My health broke down in a year, but I had learned enough, so I returned to Glasgow in 1757 and opened up a shop and made mathematical instruments at the university. I met many scientists, including Joseph Black, a British chemist and physicist, which I befriended. I married my cousin in 1764, Margaret Peggy Miller, but she unfortunately passed away after 9 years, leaving me with 6 children. In 1764, I was repairing a model New Cummins steam engine when its waste of steam impressed me. After wrestling with the problem of improving it in 1765, I came up with a solution, which is separate condenser, my first and greatest invention. I realized a few things involving latent heat, which was the worst effect the New Cummins steam engine had, and condensation is what needs to happen to resolve it. A little after that, I met John Roebuck, a British physician, chemist and inventor, also the founder of Cairn Works, who urged me to make an engine. After making a small engine with him, with the help of Joseph Black in 1768, we, or Roebuck and I, started a partnership, and in the following year I took patent for a new invented method of lessening the consumption of steam and fuel in fire engines. I have become a land surveyor since 1766 and for 8 years until Roebuck went bankrupt, and Matthew Bolton, English manufacturer and engineer with manufacturer of the Soho Works in Birmingham, took over a share in my patent. I immigrated to Birmingham in 1774 because I got bored of surveying the land of Scotland. Bolton and I began a partnership in 1775 which lasted for 25 years. Bolton's wealth and success made severe progress in the engine. In 1776, 2 engines were installed. One for pumping water in Staffordshire Colliery, and the other for blowing up air furnaces of British industrialist John Wilkinson, the famous Iron Master. In the same year, I got married to Anne McGregor and had 2 more children. I spent years supervising pump engines. Until 1780, I was financially doing well. In 1781, I invented a rotary motion for the steam engine to replace the reciprocating action of the original. In 1782, at the height of my inventive powers, I patented the double-acting engine that happened to require a few things which I solved in 1784. 4 years later, my application of centrifugal governor for automatic control of the speed of the engine at Bolton's suggestion, and in 1790 my invention of pressure gauge virtually completed the Watt engine. In 1890, I was a wealthy man, having received 76,000 euros in royalties on my patents in 11 years. The steam engine did not absorb all my attention. However, I was a member of the Lunar Society in Birmingham, a group of writers and scientists who visited to advance the science and the arts. My retirement approached in 18,000. It was the year of my patent would expire. Some stuff happened and resulted in competition in Sugu foundry to manufacture steam engines. Also during that time, my son from my first marriage, James, had caused me anxiety, and a bit later, I was saddened by the death news of my son and from my second marriage, Gregory, and many of my close friends. Nevertheless, I traveled my wife to a few places like Paris and Germany. When the Peace of Alliance was signed in 1802, and I continued to work in the garage of my house, which I had equipped as a workshop. There, I invented a sculpture machine with which I produced original busts and figures for my friends. I also acted as a consultant to the Glasgow Water Company. My achievements were amply recognized in my lifetime. I was made Doctor of Laws of the University of Glasgow in 1806 and a foreign associate of the French Academy of Sciences in 1814.